Hello, good morning, all of you. Today, in our class, we will discuss for production methods, that is the value added methods. So, in the series of Indian economy, and we are discussing here second module related to the national income. And this is the platform of Gyan Sagar Civil Academy. It is the announcement by the administration. Uh, and requested to all the aspirants, please join our channel. You will find Gyan Sagar Civil Academy at the Telegram, Facebook, and YouTube. And physically, you can also join our channel and contact with the administration by that number at 5951999927. So if you are consulting to the admin at this number, you will find all the detail about this coaching, and the admin or management will provide you 3 PDF and different study materials related to the civil examinations. So in this series of national income, we will discuss today production methods. Earlier we discussed the income methods. So how we are measuring, estimating the national income? There are 3 methods. One is the income methods. Next one is the production method or value added method, and third is the expenditure methods. So it is the second method that is used for the estimation of the national income. Production methods. What is the production method? National income. National income is estimated by summing the value added at each production stage across all sectors of the economy. What is the national income? According to the production methods, national income is estimated by summing the value added at each production stage across all sectors of the economy. So here we are talking about the value addition. What is the production method? It is also known as the output method, also known as the value added method. And other things, whenever we are producing any goods and services, it requires processing, synthesizing, manufacturing, and at each stage we are just shaping the and some adding little bit attributes and the qualities, the enhancement of the qualities, enhancement of the characters. We are saying it is said as the value added. So for example, baker is purchased wheat. So first of all, farmer is producing the wheat, so he is also involved in the production. So at one stage he added value, that is produce the wheat. Later these wheat are sold to the bakers. Baker my means a bakery shop, and he produced this bread and pape and like that. So he added the values of these these bakery items and biscuits, etc. And later it was branded and publicized and packed by another companies. So at each phase we are finding little bit values are attributed, values are enhanced, and the quality as well as the its characters is also enhanced at each phases. So in the similar manners we can say it is the value addition. So what is the value addition that I mentioned here? So according to the production method, value addition method, at each stage value of the goods and services are enhanced. These enhanced values are summed up. These enhanced values are calculated, and we are summing all these value added, value enhanced at each stage. Later these addition of the values are calculated at the sector level, at the economic sector. For example, say we are estimating national income of the agriculture sector individually, and manufacturing and industrial sectors, as well as the services sector. So these sectors are also helpful for the value additions. Next thing that we have also know value added method is most of the common is used for different sectors. So as per the sectoral point of view, sector of the economy, it is most helpful compared to the other methods in the estimation of the national income. Value added is computed as total output minus intermediate consumptions. Okay, so first of all, this is the pen. We are needed ink. Later we are needed plastic materials and like that. So at each stage we are purchasing the goods, and the further enhance the qualities and the characters and these things is the intermediate item is the last material that's purchased by the next one as a used as the raw material. Okay, the wheat is the raw material for the bakers, as the ink is the raw material for the manufacturing of the pen, manufacturer of the pen. So we are just reducing intermediate consumption. Intermediate consumption means raw material and that is used for the next step of the productions we are reducing, and energy and like that. So in other words, we can say production method. Production is the summation of the value of output minus intermediate consumption. Summation of the value of the output minus some intermediate consumption. Any things that is manufactured, any services, any goods that are produced by industry or the firms, they enhance the quality, they raise the quality and the characters that needed to the needed by the customer or consumers. The next version is used by the customer, and but the final value we are heading here. We are heading here फाइनल वैल्यू, माई मीन्स वैल्यू ऑफ द आउटपुट. टोटल आउटपुट की जो वैल्यू है वही हम ऐड किए, और जो पीछे से जो हम खरीदे थे, जैसे इसमें हमने प्लास्टिक खरीदा तो प्लास्टिक की वैल्यू को हमने यहाँ पे माइनस कर दिया. इंक है, इंक का जो वैल्यू है हमने माइनस कर दिया. सो दीज आर दी इंटरमीडिएट कंजम्पशंस, एंड वी फाइनली रीच एट द प्रोडक्शन. We are finally reached at the production in the estimation of the national value. Another things we have to know, whenever you are using the production methods in the estimation of the national income, first of all we have to know identify the producing enterprise, classifying them by the sector, later then calculating net value added each step. So it required the phases. First of all we have to identifying the enterprises. Later we have to classify. Then finally we have to sum up the net values that was added in the production of goods and services. So for the estimation of the national income through the production method या value added method, we have to identify all the producing sources, all the firms those are involved in the production of the goods and services. Then we have to classify into different economic sector like agriculture sector, manufacturing sector, या industrial sector, या services sector. Then these sectors and per sector the production of each sector is evaluated and valued, and the net value is summed up. These net value of different sector is added, and we reached at the gross value addition at market price. Okay, first of all we have to identify all the producing sources, all the machinery, all the factories which are involved in the production of the goods and services, all the firms and businesses or the individuals. Later we have to classify these means as a sectors, economic sector like agriculture sector, manufacturing and services. After that we have to calculate the net value of the goods and services produced by each sector, then the net value of each sector is added. यानी एग्रीकल्चर से जो पैदा हुआ वो ऐड कर दिया गया, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग से या सर्विसेज से जो भी पैदा हुआ उसको हमने फाइनली ऐड किया, और उसको ऐड करने के बाद जो इंटरमीडिएट कंजम्पशन था, यानी कि लास्ट उसमें जैसे कि बेकर है, बेकर ने ब्रेड बनाया तो उसके हमने फाइनल वैल्यू ब्रेड है या बिस्किट है। जो रॉ खरीदा था यानी कि वीट को हमने वैल्यू को माइनस कर दिया, तो एक्चुअल जो वैल्यू बचा उसी को हमने यहाँ पे कैलकुलेट किया। तो इस तरह से नेट वैल्यू तक हम पहुंचे। आफ्टर दैट व्हेन वी आर एस्टिमेटिंग द नेट वैल्यू, ओके, सो वी रीच्ड एट द ग्रॉस वैल्यू एडिशन एट द मार्केट प्राइस, ग्रॉस वैल्यू एट द market price. This gross value addition at the market price is equal to GDP at the market price, because we are estimating here only the domestic economic activities, not abroad. One thing, gross values are we are estimating, not depreciation. Any depreciation is included here. Next thing, at the market price. Market price means we are estimating the GDP, GV at the market price means indirect taxes is included here, but subsidies are reduced, subsidies are subtracted, yeah, reduced. Why GV at market price? Because depreciation is included, because gross depreciation is included here. Next things, market price and indirect taxes is included, but subsidies are reduced, yeah, subtracted. Okay, so we reach at the GDP at market price, that is equal to gross GVA at market price. But these are the not national income. Whenever we want to reach at the national income, we have to reach net national product at the factor cost. How we can reach? Suppose that this is the GDP at market price. We have to reduce depreciation. Whenever we are reducing depreciation, so we will reach the net value. After that, this is the domestic. Whenever we are adding net factor income from abroad, so we are reaching at the national value. We are reaching at the national. Whenever we are adding in domestic net factor income from abroad, we are reaching at the national value. Okay, one thing, so that is the market price, and we required here in market price, that is net indirect taxes. My means from the market price we are reducing the indirect taxes and submeshing and adding the subsidies to reach at the factor cost. What is the market price? Market price means here, that is the factor cost. In factor cost, whenever we are in factor cost, whenever we are reducing indirect taxes, plus we are submitting the subsidies, so we reach at the market price. Next, our topics, we are coming towards one thing, say that illustration I mentioned here. What is the national income? So here we are calculate the GDP at the market price. Suppose that is it 20. It is 20 rupees. Suppose that it is the 20 rupees. Next value, less depreciation. Depreciation value will be the -1. Okay. After that, we are adding the net factor income from abroad. So here suppose that no factor income from the abroad. It is only 0. Next one, net indirect taxes. That is I also reducing here 4. Net indirect taxes where we are also reducing here. So net indirect taxes है, यानी कि net indirect taxes we are reducing here 4. So out of the GDP at market price, we are reaching value at the national income. How? Because from the 20 we reduce first of all depreciation. That is the here depreciation 1, and added the net factor income from the abroad. But here no net, we are considering the 0. It's mean no value. But actually we will add whenever we estimating. Another thing that is a market price I have to reach to the factor cost. So how we will reaching less net indirect assets, that is the -4. So national income here we find 15 rupees 15 we are finding the national income. This is the illustration for simplicity. Another topics, another methods, that is the expenditure methods, and we will reach toward the expenditure method. Now our next topics, expenditure methods. Third method is expenditure method. In estimation of the national income, expenditure method means according to the national expenditure methods, in estimation of the national income, we adding up all the expenditure on the final goods and services. In as per the expenditure method, whenever we are measuring the national income, we are adding up all the expenditure on final goods and services in a financial year. So we are reaching at the expenditure method. So national income is estimated by adding up expenditure on all final goods and services produced. So we can say national income is estimated. National income is estimated by adding up all the expenditure on final goods and services during a financial year within the nation during a financial year. So according to the expenditure method, national income is estimated by adding up all the expenditure on final goods and services within the nation during a financial year. Here nation means we are including the net factor income from the abroad. Here nation, I use here a term that is nation. Means we are adding up net factor income from the abroad. So how we are measuring here? Suppose that GDP. Here GDP is expressed as Y, and Y equal C plus I plus G plus X minus M. Here GDP means Y. Y is calculated at C plus I plus G plus X minus M. So we are reaching GDP at market prices. Here again we are reaching at GDP at market prices. And how GDP at market prices can be expressed? As a Y. Y means total expenditure of a country during a financial year on all final goods and services. So these are the just symbols and indicators, and these shows ki these are all the expenditures of a country that used in the estimation of the national income is grouped in a specific sectors. So first of all, C means private final consumption expenditure. What is this C? Private final consumption expenditure. What is the C? Private final consumption expenditure. What is the I? Investment by the private sector. Expenditure on the capital goods. Expenditure on capital goods. Expenditure on capital goods. Next is G. G equal to expenditure by the government or government agencies. Government final consumption expenditure. Expenditure by G indicating the government final consumption expenditure. गवर्नमेंट फाइनल कंजम्पशन एक्सपेंडिचर यानी कि गवर्नमेंट फाइनल कंजम्पशन एक्सपेंडिचर और एक्स माइनस एम का मीन्स एक्स माइनस एम है मीन्स नेट एक्सपोर्ट. नेट एक्सपोर्ट. एक्सपोर्ट एक्स मीन्स एक्स इक्वल है एक्सपोर्ट. एक्सपोर्ट एंड एम इंडिकेटिंग import, total import. Okay, so these are the symbolic expression of the GDP. And private final consumption expenditure, expenditure on capital goods, government final expenditure, and net export, then export and import. Consumption expenditure is the largest component. Okay, this consumption expenditure is the largest component. Largest component. In estimating of the national income, we designed a frame. On that basis, we categorize all the expenditure in a country in a different section or different groups. So, private final consumption expenditure, या household consumption expenditure, farms expenditures, etc. included here. This is the largest component. My means all these are also expanding and having the role in increasing the growth of a country, but the major role played by in the enhancement of the national income is the C, because the consumption expenditure made by the household, by the private sector is greater than other sector, is greater than other sector. Household is first, then I think private firms, later government agencies, and like that. So here we have to note this includes consumption expenditure. So in estimation of the national income as per the expenditure method, this include consumption expenditure by the household, expenditure on the capital goods, government expenditures, as well as net exports. So the summation of these value we reaching at the GDP at the market price. We are not reaching actual value of the national income. Whenever we are submitting these value, we are calculating using these values, we are reaching at the GDP at the market price. So later we have to, one thing that I also know, closed economy. Closed economy. Closed economy. Here C plus I plus G. In closed economy, we are including all these, but excluded X minus M, because they have no trade relations या economic interest with the other countries. What is the closed economy? They have self-sufficiency. They are interrelated among themselves, but no have trade relations या economic relations with the other countries. So this is the closed economy. All the economic activities of a country is framed in such a manner that they have no relations with other countries. It will come under the closed economy. So here it is excluded. Any export minus import is excluded. It will not be included here. And other things, if we want to reach at the national income, so from the GDP at the market prices, how we have to reach NP at factor cost, how we can reach. In expenditure methods, when we are estimating values of these things, these expenditures, we reaching at the GDP at the market price. Later we have to reach in calculating the national income, that is the value of NP at factor cost. So first of all, we are subtracting the depreciation from the G. From G value, we are depreciating, so we are reaching the net. Next one, the domestic. Here we are adding net factor income from abroad. Another things, we are subtracting the net indirect taxes from the market price. So we are reaching at the net indirect taxes, minus this value, minus net indirect taxes. We are subtracting from the market price. We are reaching at the factor cost. Then this would be the national income. And other things. One thing I have to note here regarding that topics. Note, in the last few years, we are observing the role of the private sector is increasing compared to the government sector in the GDP growth. In the GDP, the role of private sector is increasing. So here we can write role of private sector is increasing than public sector in GDP. Therefore, GDP in the last few years we are measured increasing very high. Therefore, we are observing GDP is increasing very high compared to the last few decades. In the last few years, I means at 10 years and 15 years, we are observing GDP is increasing very high. Why? Because the role of the private sector is increasing and public sector's role is decreasing. And other things. Another things that we have to reach here, economic activities, classification of the economic activities. Classification of economic activities. Classification of economic activities. Classification of economic activities. We just discussed here, national income is measured as an income method. We are using the income method and production methods and expenditure methods. So as per in the context of Indian economy, which methods is used in different economic sectors. So now we are discussing here in different economic sectors which methods will be used, is continuously using by the Indian governments. Okay, so here agriculture, we are classifying the economic activities as in a different sectors. First of all, the sectors. Here we are writing here sectors. Agriculture sector, number one is agriculture culture sector, agriculture sector, agriculture and and allied. Next one is here as industry. One is the agriculture and allied sector. Next one is the industry. In industry, we are just mining and quarrying. Industry, we can include mining and quarrying. Mining and quarrying. Next one is we are including manufacturing. Manufacturing. Next one here utilities like gas, water supply, electricity, and like that. So electricity, gas, water supplies. Electricity, gas, water supply, etc. Next one is construction. And third one is the services. So we classifying the different economic activities in three groups, and these three groups are mentioned here. First is the agriculture and allied sector. Agriculture means anything that is produced with the involvement of the soil. So the role of the soil in the production of anything, that is the agriculture. And allied, the things that are related to the agriculture but not actually the agriculture, just like beekeeping, forestry, and fishing, livestock ranching. So these are the allied activities related to the agriculture but not actual agriculture. But in general parlance, these are included in the agriculture. So here we write the agriculture and allied sector. Which method will be applied in the estimation of in the measurement of the agriculture and allied activities. So here we are using the production methods, measurement. Here we write a measurement. In measurement of national income. In estimation of the national income, which method we will apply in agriculture? Production methods. In agriculture and allied, we are applying production method. Why production methods? Because at each phase we are find goods and services are valued, are added, value added. Okay, so everything we very clearly observe the goods and services are produced. So on that methods we are using here production methods. Next point, the industry, mining and quarrying. So mining and quarrying, these mining and quarrying and electricity up to, we are applying which method? Again production methods. Mining and quarrying. Mining means just minerals are acquired from inside the ground, inside the earth. So it is called the mining. And quarrying, most of the times we are using mining term for coal. When we are mining for the coal, so it is the mining. Whenever we are doing the mining activity for taking up the limestones, for marbles, so it will be the quarrying. Okay. And other things, mining means just like iron ore is also mined, bauxite is also mined. So all things that we are acquiring from the beneath the earth, these are the mining and quarrying. Okay, so it will come under the industry, but they are also related with the natures. They are also related with the natures, just like agriculture and allied sectors are fully depend over the natures. Nature drive and decides up to a certain extent in the production of these things. In the similar manner, nature is also decide because it is depend over the availability. So the methods used in mining and quarrying is the production methods, because very easily we can calculate and estimate ki how much was goods produced, yeah, commodities are produced. In manufacturing, in the similar manner, we are also using the production methods, electricity, gas, water supply. So the same things, these are also called the municipal utilities, because these are the items come under the daily necessities and provided by the municipalities, etc. So we can say these are the also used and come under the production methods. But the construction did not come under the production method. Why? Because in under the construction we are using the expenditure method. Expenditure method. Here we are using the expenditure means. My means whenever we are constructing any building, any complex, so we are not knowing how much we are produced, how we can valued. So it is difficult, but it is very easy to estimate how much was invested in a building, how much rupees was expended in the construction of any building. So due to that, we are using the expenditure method in construction. Next one is our services. What is the services? Services, we are using the income method. Here we are using the income methods. Services means intangible things. First of all, intangible things, but they fulfill our human wants. Intangible things, but they fulfill our human wants. Just like transport, communication, trades, and banking services, financial services. These are the services. Real estate is also come under the services. But construction will come under the industry. Construction, real estate means a building that is valued, a building that is purchased and sold by someone, that come under the real estate. The brokers which are acquiring or hiring the buildings and giving to someone at the rents, and he earning the brokerage, so come under the real estate. But here only just he is constructing the building. So there are the differences. Only construction of the building, but its sale and purchase, renting, etc. come under the real estate. Sale, purchase, renting, and brokers commission of broker services, etc. come under the real services, real estates. So real estates is a little bit different with the construction. So here construction come under the expenditure, but services will come under the income methods. So this is the usual classification, general classification used by all the countries. Another classification of the economic activities we can measure here, just like one thing say that if we are suppose that another classification of economic activities, economic sectors, how we can classify, another way of the classification. Another way is classification, that is the mining and quarrying. Here mining and quarrying is put on here. Next manufacturing, electricity, gas, water supply, and etc. and other utilities. Construction, it is construction. And under services we are knowing very well what come under the services, that is the real estate, banking, banking, insurance, finances, finances, transport, communication, transport and communication, transport, insurance, transport and communication, and trade will also come under here. Trade, health services, education services, health care, and education, etc. will come under the services. Another classification, just we are putting here primary sectors, primary sectors, secondary sectors, secondary sector. Next one is tertiary sector. What is the primary sector? Agriculture and allied activities will come under the primary sector. Mining and quarrying will come under the primary sector. Primary sector, it connotes, it related with the that things driven by the nature. It talk about the nature. Any productive activities, any productions that driven by the nature will come under the primary sector. So agriculture and allied sectors, allied means just like the fishing, livestock, ranching, these are the allied activities. Beekeeping, and these are allied activities. So allied and agriculture driven by the nature, so will come under the primary sector. Mining and quarrying, it is also decided and driven by the nature, will come under the primary sector. Another thing, secondary sector. Here we are including the manufacturing sector, electric, gas, water supply and other utilities, municipal utilities will come under the secondary sector, and construction will also come under the secondary sector. Construction will also come under the secondary sector. In TCS exams, very frequently such questions earlier asked, which come under which component which will come under which sectors. So just like the given the option as the real estate and the construction, so you have to not be confused with the construction. Construction means building, construction of the building, but the real estate, sale, purchase, renting, etc. come under the real estate. The real estate is the broad terms, and construction will also included in the real estate. Construction is itself is included in the real estate, but in the measurement of a national income, etc., we are excluded the construction from the real estate, and we are adding in inside the secondary sector or the industry sector and other things. Real services, real estates, banking, insurance, transport, tertiary sector, communication, these are the things of the tertiary sector. These are the things of the tertiary sectors. So here we are classify in another manner the primary sector, secondary sector and tertiary sectors. Earlier I discussed about the agriculture sector role in GDP or GVA, that was the 18%, industry 27%, and agriculture that is 18%, and my means share in GDP 18%, for industry 27%, and for services 45%, approximate value 45% approximate value. But what will be the share in share? I am writing here share in GV at current prices. I think it is the share in current price and in nominal GDP. Share in nominal GDP. Share in nominal GDP. Nominal GDP 2020 24 and 25. What will be the value? I think say it is approximate 19%, 19.3 or 19.7, 19.7, 19.7, 19.7. And secondary sector 25.3, 25 point नहीं 25.3, 25.3. And in tertiary sector approximate value 55 or 54%, 55 or 54%. So the tertiary sector remains the same, but here primary sector and secondary sectors we are compared to the agriculture sector and industry sector little bit share in GDP is changed. Why they are changing? Because here in primary sector we are including the mining and quarrying from the industrial sector. So earlier we have in agriculture we have approximate value of 18%, suppose that, and in industry we have value as of 27%. So the 2% is added here. 2% value approximate 1.5 and 2% value of the mining and quarrying is added in the primary sectors because it's the part of the primary sector. But when we are classifying in different manner, so it is the part of the industrial sector. So here value will be the 27%. And you have to not be confused from these values. Okay. Another thing, in the services, either it is the 55 and 55 and 54%, and both tertiary sectors and services both are the same. So here we are also mentioned another classification, just like another classification of right here, another classification of economic activities, of economic activities. One thing I mentioned here, that is the primary sector. Primary sector. Next one is mentioned here. I have mentioned secondary sector. Secondary sector, and third I mentioned here tertiary sector. Tertiary sector. Later quaternary. Tertiary sector. Tertiary sector. Next here I mentioned quaternary. Quaternary. I think say quaternary and quinary. Quaternary and quinary. 4 and 5. 1 year in, I think so UPPCS a question was asked, which sector will come the later, yeah, which sector will come first. So this is the sequence of different economic activities, sector of the different economic activities. In primary sector I have mentioned just like the agriculture, mining and quarrying and drilling, etc. In primary sector I have mentioned agri and allied. What is coming here? Agri and allied, and plus mining and quarrying and drilling, etc. And quarrying anything that any resources that are derived from below the earth, okay, that come under the mining and quarrying. So these are the nature based and nature driven, because the possessions and the availability of the resources is the best, so it is the nature based, come under the primary sector. Next one is the secondary sectors. In secondary sectors I also mentioned different things, just like the mining and quarrying is not come under the secondary sector, it come under the primary sector. And here we are having the manufacturing, water supply, gas, electricity and other utilities come under the secondary sector. In tertiary, all the services will come under the tertiary sector, like real estate, transport, trade, commerce, and as well as banking services, financial services, and insurance services, etc. will come under the tertiary sector. Quaternary sector. What is the quaternary sector? It also represent knowledge based activities. ठीक है, तो quaternary research and development, information technology, knowledge based activities. what is coming here? Quaternary, quaternary, that is the knowledge based activities. Quaternary, that is knowledge based activities. Knowledge based activities. Okay. Under quaternary, we are including knowledge based activities like R&D, यानी कि research and development, and other things, that is information technologies, and information and communication technologies, etc., and software, etc. Just like here we are also consultancy services, etc. Consultancy services, etc. will come under the quaternary. Next one is a quinary service, quinary activities. Quinary sector या quinary activities, it also represent knowledge based activities. It also represents knowledge based activities, is also represent knowledge based activities. Next point here, and high level decision making roles, and high level decision making role in government, in public administration, in governments, and managements, in businesses. So high level decision making roles, okay, will come under the quinary. Research, etc., government, management, business, and research, etc. So there is a little bit difference between the quaternary and quinary. Quaternary, that is knowledge based activities, and quinary is also knowledge based activity, but it is just the work, it is the decision making. The most top brass officers are seated here. White collar jobs, we are very frequently listening one term, that is the white collar jobs. So these are the white collar jobs. White collar jobs mean the official works. Most of the times in Europe, the officers who are doing the official works, workers, those are doing the official works, their collar is not just grayed and maligned. So the term comes from there. White collar jobs, many official works and the service based activities will come under this, like the banking services, education services, healthcare services, etc. come under the. So these are the white collar jobs, okay, and the secondary sectors and the primary sectors. Now we are moving to another topics, and one thing that I have to mention, sector composition of financial and real estates and professional services sector, that is left to it. And our next topic is related with the problem in estimation of the national income. Problems in estimation of national income. Next video we will discuss from the here. Okay, bye, all the best.